I was first attracted to it because I felt like the story was fascinating. I felt the fact that it was a true story made it even more ridiculous, you know. So I was fascinated by a lot of the central characters, not just my own character, and then just to be given the chance to play Henry was, you know, a dream come true. But essentially it was the sort of case where I read it and felt like I would definitely go and see this movie myself. Well, I think what's interesting about it is that you have probably 5 or 6 characters that one movie could have been made about, but in this case they're all put together in the one story, which I think is very unusual. I think a lot of films you have 1 or maybe 2 characters that the film hinges upon, but in this case, even though it's a story essentially about the 2 sisters, it's very rich in detail with a lot of other characters. So I felt like that was very interesting and made the story very have a lot of depth. It's different for every part. I think your relationship with the director is very important in trying to interpret their vision. The script to me is always the Bible, because that's always the version of the story that you're making. Then it's always interesting to research historically, but essentially a lot of it has to come from inside and from yourself and what you find interesting in your character. Yeah, it's always a challenge, but I like that. I like playing people who are based in reality or who were real people. I think it's very interesting. You always learn a lot about history. You learn a lot more about those particular characters. It can be a little bit restrictive, but you've got to find a way to feel free within those constraints. And in this case, it was exciting for me because it was a version of Henry that we don't always see. We have this kind of caricature of him as an old, crazy, fat, tyrannical king, and the reality is in the early parts of his life he was far different. He was a very brilliant man, so I try to concentrate on that. I'd fall in love with both. Have them both together in my court, in my kingdom, and Catherine as well perhaps. So I think Henry had the right idea. My next project was also based on a book called The Time Traveller's Wife, with myself and Rachel McAdams, a wonderful Canadian actress. It's a love story that will probably come out sometime this year, and I'm just about to go and do some work on Star Trek, playing the villain. So should be a lot of fun.
Can you give me any other detail for the fans about Star Trek?
Absolutely no details whatsoever. I have them up here, where you can't find them. I struggle to find them myself.